Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to talk about Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we get into that, I want to let y'all know I have a website called lavidarosastyle.com. The link is down below. You can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, y'all. So let's just get straight into this because these 2-hour episodes are not going to kill me. Shout out to Jess and Austin and Katie and Derek for making their scene so fast forwardable. I could see what was going on in the scene without actually having to hear them have the dialogue. I mean, I'm just so happy for them because it's less to talk about. I mean, because they're just so cute. I'm just going to talk about them real quick. Jess and Austin have kindergarten crushes on each other, and it's adorable, okay? Honestly, I feel like they're the only ones that are truly taking advantage of this free trip. Like, go do and see everything you can. I would be doing everything, okay? I don't even care if we mad at each other. I'm going here, and if that means I have to bring you with me, you can sulk all you want. But I'm going and doing everything while we're here in Panama, okay? And I feel like Jess and Austin are doing it the right way. I mean, obviously, they're clicking and they're having chemistry, so that makes it easier. But I'm not gonna sit up here and be in my hotel room on this trip in Panama. Are you crazy? And by the end of this episode, they had consummated their marriage. They didn't want to tell nobody. They wanted to be all hush-hush about it. But it's cute to me because I think they really are a good match. All right, Katie and Derek. She did mention on this episode that she's nervous that he's never been in love. Meanwhile, you were not over your ex when you got married, so he should be the one worried. Apparently, a hotel room plus Derek laying down rose petals and, you know, champagne and, you know, these little finger foods to feed each other. All of that equals consummation. And, you know, I feel like we all saw that coming. I honestly feel like it probably happened before then, but whatever you're comfortable saying. It's cute for them too. I just don't have as much hope for this couple because of how it began with her being stuck on her ex at the altar. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. I don't even know who I want to go to next because they all, from here, it's just Messyville. So let's just go, I'm gonna go to Mindy and Zach. Because, I just want to get Zach and Mindy out the way. Because let me tell you something. Zach is so full of himself. Zach will talk and 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 won't be saying a word, won't be having a full complete message to put together. You'll sit there and you'll just be like, because I promise this happened last episode too, but I was like, okay, maybe they edited him wrong. No, there was multiple times where this man was just talking and talking, and I'm just like, my head is spinning, and I'm just like, you know what the real problem is? Well, I'm gonna get to that. So Zach feels like he's forced to make it work with someone he's not attracted to. She's devastated because she feels she might have made a mistake doing this whole process. And you want to talk about being attracted and you like somebody to dress nice or whatever. When your facial hair is looking like this. See, I really can't take you too seriously if you're not properly groomed yourself. You can't just be all focused on looks and all, you know what I'm saying, you want your lady to look a certain type of way and your facial hair looks like this. I'm sorry. It don't work like that. She told the girls what he said, that he's used to being attracted to someone right away. I think that would be anyone's worst nightmare that signed up for this process, because you never want to think that someone you're married to and supposedly want to spend the rest of your life with is not attracted to you when they first meet you. But the harsh truth is that a lot of people, when they first met their partner, they weren't necessarily attracted to them. Usually it's, you know, the other way around. It's the woman not attracted to the man. But I've heard plenty of stories of women who were not attracted to their husband or initially, like they were not attracted to them, but eventually over time they started to see the personality. And I feel like women are, I always say this, but I feel like women are more likely to look past the physical and get to know the person on a personality level, see who they actually are and their character and be drawn to that. Whereas men are more likely to look on the outside and want, you know, someone that is out of their league majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? Women are that way too, but like I said, we're more likely to give someone else a chance over time, you know? And even though I feel like Zach is really like deluded, this situation, I mean, at least he's being honest, and at least he's like telling his truth, even though he goes around the world to say it and he's trying to like spare her feelings. At least he's being truthful. And then she also said, well, did you ask if I'm attracted to you? Girl, you told him you was attracted to him when you first met him at the altar. You told everyone. That's why I said y'all need to be telling these men up front, because it boosts their head all the way up. It really make them feel like they Brad Pitt. It make them feel like they George Clooney. It make them feel like they Michael Ealy. They feel like they fine after that. You can't let men know up front they fine. I'm telling you. That's the worst mistake you can make. All right? And at least wait till he say about you first. I thought it was funny that Katie was like, well, yeah, because you might be attractive, but you're not 6'5". And I'm just like, exactly. I said that last video. He's short. So let's not get into looks and things like that, because if we're judging based off looks, she could say the same thing. Y'all are the same height. She might be a little bit taller than you. I don't know. He might be trying to, you know, boost their hair up some, like I said, to compensate. But don't act like you're like the most attractive person even on this show. So later on, they had a little date. So once again, he begins talking in circles. And another thing she really wants to know is, does he actually care about how she feels? Because it's like, he's more so concerned about how he is attracted to her. But are you concerned about me being attracted to you? And it's like, no, because he feels like he's the ultimate attractive man. So what do you have to complain about? I'm the prize here. I'm the one that's concerned about whether I'm going to be attracted to you. See, the thing about Zach is he can't have a deep conversation because he's shallow. But shh, don't tell him, because he don't know it. That's why he keeps sitting up here talking in all these circles, because he ain't really got nothing real to say. He's not saying anything. It was really hard to see her keep hitting this brick wall when talking to him, because it's like he just can't go deeper. So girl, stop trying to push him to go deeper. He just don't have the range. He just don't. He don't have it. So they went on this little date to go visit the indigenous peoples, I'm guessing, from Panama. And, you know, it was a little, I don't know. Something about it felt off to me. Like, I mean, I know that's what they're there to do. They're like selling their culture, essentially, because, you know, these baskets, and I'm sure people pay to do this, but something about it was a little bit odd for me, because it was just babies there. It's like, I hope y'all ain't exploiting the children, please. Anyway, during this trip, he claimed that he was more attracted to her because she was showing her confidence and being herself. And I guess they kissed at some point, and it was off camera. And she was just so excited to tell everybody about it because they kissed. Oh my goodness. Girl, stop it, Mindy. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop letting this man do the bare minimum and giving him all the praises and, you know, the gold medal. We kissed. Oh my goodness, we kissed. Don't do that again, Mindy. Please. And I know this is like already been taped, and everything that's happened has already happened, but I'm just like, no ma'am, we don't give a man that much. We don't. Not when he ain't giving us nothing. All right, so let's talk about Mika and Michael, and they stressful. Oh, they stressful. They're stressful. It's really Michael, because I feel like Mika is doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing in this process. I don't want to see somebody suffer in silence or just going along to get along. I don't want to see that. I hate it when Kate did that a couple of seasons ago. I hate it when Amber did that last season. I want to see someone stand up for themselves and really be like, no, this is not the way I should be getting treated. This is not the way you should be acting. I commend Mika for standing up for herself. If she don't do it, who gonna do it? And the first thing I wrote in my notes is, how are you supposed to trust a stranger when he's shown you two totally different sides of himself? One side on camera, the other side off camera, and the side that's off camera is harsh, abrasive, and demanding sex. The one on camera is sweet, understanding, and is willing to wait. And to me, that is very scary, because how are you supposed to develop trust when this person is being deceptive? For this whole situation about him saying if he doesn't have sex by the end of this trip, then they need to cut it off. If he didn't say that, I'm gonna need for Michael to get on camera, on screen. I want him to say exactly what did you say, and I want to hear in the tone. I want to hear the context in which you said it, everything. Because if you did not say that, I'm gonna need for you to say what you did say, because just constantly denying it and not really, you know, kind of brushing it off, that is not a solid response. That is not, we need more proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not giving us anything, and it's making you look terrible. And I believe it's because you said it. Let me just go to when all of them met up, actually. Let me go to when all of them met up, because that's a big part of their storyline. Okay, so when they all met up together, Mika showed up alone, and that was really like, okay, everybody else showed up together, but she showed up alone. So they showed like, oh, something, it must really be bad. What's going on here? So people started asking her questions. It was so awkward. And it was kind of crazy to me that Brandon was nicer to her than he was his own wife at the time. But we're going to get to Brandon. And when Michael came in, he really ignored Mika. He didn't really even speak to her. He was having a full conversation and just like mingling with everyone and not his own wife. Not to mention, he wasn't even wearing his ring. So it was really cringy to watch him come in and just completely straight up ignore her. At least acknowledge her in some way. In any way. He didn't even acknowledge her. So after they were all together, they all went and, you know, met with their respective groups, the men and the women. She was just telling the girls what happened. The girls obviously said it wasn't right, but they weren't going to completely give up on them. Taylor said she gonna work on him through Brandon. I'm like, Brandon ain't even talking to you, girl. So from there, she called Pastor Cal and explained to him what happened. Pastor Cal said to push or prod someone to have sex is inappropriate. He said he was gonna get on him like ugly on an ape. And from what I saw in the next scene where he talked to Michael, he went on him too hard. Okay, maybe he'll do it when he see him in person. Pastor Cal feels that Michael may have communicated in a way that didn't really reflect his true feelings or his character, and he wanted Mika to give him another chance, basically. But my whole thing with that is, if he did say something the wrong way, just admit you were wrong about that and apologize. Just say you were completely wrong and apologize, so maybe they can get past it and be like, you know, maybe I was acting different off camera than I was on camera, and possibly things could move forward. But until he does that, I just don't see how it possibly could. After they had their own conversations with Pastor Cal, they met up by themselves. She says she feels they need to be friends, and basically she was saying they need to gain intimacy before she will want to consummate their marriage. And she just feels like there's so much that can be gained before sex has to be involved, and I agree with her. He said he's ashamed of himself because he wants to live up to the vows that he wrote, and he feels like a failure, and that's the reason why he hasn't been wearing his ring, because she confronted him about not wearing that ring. She said, I don't feel like you're taking this relationship seriously because you're walking around here looking like a single man, and I'm walking up here looking like the faithful wife with the ring on, basically looking stupid. And, you know, to me, his excuses of, you know, not living up to the vows, and, you know, he feels like he's failed in only 3 days. Well, you need to be trying harder to put in work, because I don't really see him actually putting in any real work. I don't see him actually seeming like he actually cares to fix this. he just is very lackadaisical about this whole thing. And then when they all went to the dinner, it was really, really, really awkward because Mika, you know, under normal circumstances, I would say keep these sort of problems to yourself. But I think it was important for Mika to be honest with the group and say exactly how she's feeling about it, because it's obvious that they're on two totally different pages while everyone else is at least willing to, you know, speak to each other. She says she just feels really uncomfortable with the situation, and, you know, she's married to him, so it's kind of like she feels forced to, you know, be in this moment, be with him, and it's just uncomfortable. And I just appreciate the transparency, because a lot of people would, you know, smile and grin and just act like, you know, just handle it behind the scenes. But I think in this particular case, it's good to let the group know. The group do need to be knowing what's going on. I feel like the group should have been knowing what was going on last year with Matt and Amber, and possibly they could have been helping her more. She could have been getting more support along the way from people who could understand her better. I forgot who asked Mika and Michael had they consummated their marriage, but I'm just like, why would you ask a couple that you know are having problems? Like, they asked Mindy and Zach too. You know they're having problems. You knew what was going on. She told you exactly what was happening, both of them. Why are y'all asking couples that are clearly having problems? Like, is the producers pushing you to say that? Which brings us to Brandon and Taylor. So in the beginning of this episode, Brandon wakes up with Taylor recording him with her little, you know, camera they give everyone to record their little intimate moments. And he's snoring, and she's just like, you know, wake up, sleepyhead, he's snoring or whatever. And he wakes up, looks at the camera, immediately runs to the bathroom. And it was just a weird scene because, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone who does not like that. I'm someone who would hate to be woken up in that manner, right? I'm totally on board with being upset about that, because I'm the same way. I don't even like to be, I only like to be woken up in a certain type of way. I really don't even like to be woken up, period, if I'm being honest. But I know that's an impossible thing to ask someone. But if you wake me up, I just please ask you to wake me up in a respectful way. Gently wake up, something like that. Because if you wake me up in a way that displeases me, I will have an attitude. So in that aspect, I'm totally with Brandon. Taylor doesn't know this because they don't know each other. They're strangers. Get that too. So I'm not even mad at Taylor, because she's probably the type of person that really doesn't care. She just strikes me as that type. So, and if I'm not mistaken, there was also the camera crew in there. It wasn't just from her perspective of, you know, her holding their personal camera. It was like a whole camera crew, because if I'm not mistaken, they caught him running out of the room too. So if you're gonna be mad at Taylor, you need to be mad at production too, because they were in there recording you as well. Anyway, and you're on TV, period. See, okay, that's not the same. That's not the same. That's not the same, but let's just act like it is. The next scene we see is him in the mirror brushing his teeth, and she's trying to come up to him, you know, be all lovey-dovey like they've been doing, trying to, you know, be all on him or whatever. And he's like, get off me type of attitude. And like, don't talk to me. And like, straight up ignoring her. Like, didn't say 2 words to her attitude. And I was like, I really could not believe he was having this kind of attitude. Because usually when people have this kind of attitude, you have known somebody for a while having this kind of attitude. In the beginning, people don't normally like to show this really nasty side of them. Like, I have this in me too. Believe it or not, y'all might not. Some of y'all may believe it, some of y'all might not. I have this in me to act exactly the way he did. I've done it. But they just met each other. How, I can't believe it's like he had so much anger and resentment towards her already. What she did, like, did not warrant that response. I mean, it's not like she knew he wasn't like a morning person and didn't like that. The next scene we see them in, apparently Brandon had not talked to Taylor before they all sat down together that first time. And so he's sitting up here mingling, talking with everybody, laughing and joking with everybody else except for Taylor. And then when they started going around and, you know, asking people why do they think they were matched, what do they have in common, things like that, he was just like, well, we both don't like to be disrespected. And he felt disrespected because she had that cam on him when he first woke up. And it really like freaked him out, apparently. It scared him. So I'm just like, okay, if it freaks you out that bad, why not confront her right there in the moment when she did it? Or when she was trying to be all up on you in the bathroom and you was ignoring her. Why did you wait until you got in front of a group of people before you confronted her with that? And to me, that's very toxic behavior. And that would really turn me off to him off bat. Because if you can't confront me when it's just one-on-one and instead you want to and try to embarrass me in front of everybody, oh yeah, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. So instead of feeling the way I would have felt, she wanted to apologize and she bought him a gift. I believe it was a beer or whatever. And he basically straight up told her he didn't want it. I believe he should have just went ahead and accepted the apology and gone on about his day because it was not that serious, Brandon. Like, he's been so immature. Like, he's sulking like he's a child. Pouting. Like, what is your problem? And then the next thing you know, she saw him in the pool with the beer. So, what is it? Which is it? Which is it? He's being so petty and so trifling right now. And then I believe she tried to get in the pool or something and he snapped on her and told her not to touch him. Oh, I would have been done. I would have been done. At that point, I'm about to go on my own excursion without you. I'm about to go explore Panama alone. Ain't no way I'm finna sit up here in no hotel room or just on this like resort and you tell me not to touch you. Oh, you ain't got to worry about seeing me, boo. You ain't got to worry about seeing me. After a whole day of basically giving her the cold shoulder, they went to dinner and he wanted to like just blow it all off with an apology. And he basically said he has to get used to someone in his life instead of like constantly retreating. And he didn't know how to handle the situation. But you knew how to bring it up in front of everybody. And you knew how to ignore her. And you knew how to tell her, well, don't touch me. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to try again. That was a very sorry excuse. And by the way, Taylor was like not going for it. She was confronting him saying, well, you should have confronted me in the moment. You should have told me. And when she was like pressing him to like actually be a man and take accountability for what he did, he was like, get over it. And I'm like, get over it? Get over it? You're telling someone to get over it? After you've been pouting for these past 12, 24 hours and she's tried time and again to get you to talk to her and you're telling her to get over it? Really, Brandon? What is up with these men? So I guess by the end of it, he did eventually give her a genuine apology and she accepted it and they kissed and then they went on this little excursion to see the animals, which I thought was kind of cute and kind of showed a different side to him. He was really gentle with the animals and she even kind of brought up a couple of times about how sensitive he was the day before and he laughed it off. So I was like, okay, maybe he was just in his feelings yesterday. I don't know. We'll see. Later on, he surprised her in the tub. And that tub was really small. And neither one of them are like big people. But they are kind of like have long limbs. And they were barely fitting in that tub. I'm like, that tub is tiny. Like, I don't even know how they got in the tub. I don't think Brandon's slick. He heard earlier in the episode that Derek poured rose petals on the floor and he ended up getting lucky. And Brandon planned on getting lucky that night too. He thought, ooh, let me pour me some rose petals and let me do me a little tub date and maybe I could get lucky too. You ain't slick. I saw what that was. I think Brandon, this entire episode was very childish. I did not appreciate the I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Leave me alone. I didn't appreciate that. And so I'm not going to forget it. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.